Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Anmoll Astrology channel. Now, today's video is actually the second part of Pushkara Navamsa, where we are going to discuss about the ascendants. Okay, how from a fire ascendant you go into a particular Pushkara Navamsa and what the results are to be. See, everyone talks about that. What is the calculation for, if you are a fire ascendant, suppose Aries, and you are in a certain degree domain, then which Pushkara Navamsha your planet will go into or ascendant will go into, right? So here, we just know that this calculation is there, but how do we interpret it? What results do we get out of it? That's the question. So today I'll be answering that if you have a Pushkara Navamsha under a certain category, what is the result? What results can you predict for an individual or for yourself? Okay, so I'll just share my screen. Right. So we'll talk about, since this is a very elaborative video, I decided to divide it into 4 parts: fire, earth, air, and water. So this part of the video is going to be about fire. Okay. So fire ascendants. Now, if your planet, or specifically, let's keep this video strictly towards ascendants. Although when I'm talking about ascendants, you can also predict similarly for a planet. Like, for example, if you are a person with ascendant between 20 degrees to 23 degrees 20 minutes Aries, then your Navamsha is going to be Libra. That is going to be a Pushkara Navamsha. Similarly, if you have a planet in the sign of Aries between 20 degrees and 23 degrees 20 minutes, then that certain planet is going to go into Libra. Like, for example, from an exalted sun, it could go into a debilitated sun in your Navamsha. Okay, so what is the result going to be? You can interpret it based on the planets also, but here we are going to talk about just ascendants right now, because ascendants is something I have not seen is very much discussed online. So I wanted to make a very separate video concerning just the ascendants first. Okay, so let's get started. So since I clearly mentioned, if it's Aries, if your ascendant is between 20 degrees to 23 degrees, 20 minutes Aries, then it is going to fall into Libra Navamsha. Now, 2 things you need to consider when we are talking about the Pushkara Navamsha and regarding ascendants, or you can consider regarding the planets also. First, the element change. From which element to which element it is going. Second is the relationship, which is written here, right? So how do we judge this? Now we know from a fire ascendant, we are going into an air ascendant. So the transition is from a fire to an air, right? Fire people are very abrupt. They are impulsive. They are go-getters. They are initiators. Whereas the signs of air, they are more calculative, more analytical, and they are more clever. They're intelligent. You'll see a person with a fire. If you see a fire individual, you can simply project a person who's always on a go, who is not like using their brains before they act. Right? But if you see a person with a air dominant, you'll see they're always thinking. They're always, every single move of them is actually because of some sort of thinking or thought process which is going around. So they have a very prominent thought process, because everything they do, they are going to have some cleverness out of it, have some intelligence out of it. So you see those people who are very clever, even though they have to deal with in a relationship with a person on an intimate level also. You'll always see such individuals either have their moon in the air signs or Venus in the air signs. Okay, so this is the element you need to see. You're going from a fire, from a very fiery individual, from a dharma individual, you're going now into a karma world. Okay, and the relationship here is the 7th. Whenever in whole of this Pushkara Navamsha, or I would say in everywhere in astrology, always check for the relationships. Always check, one planet is going from one placement to another placement. What is the relationship between? If the ascendant is moving from one placement to another placement, what is the relationship between? So here we have seventh relationship. That means the seventh house holds the utmost importance, and the seven number holds the utmost importance. So now you will know that this person will receive those fruits of life, those Pushkara Navamsha, those roots, the good deeds that are coming from the roots, the things they, they have just carried forward, the good deeds that they have carried forward, the good results or blessings they have carried forward through the seventh house process. Now, what does seventh house means? That means partnerships. That means your relationships, your business partnerships, business contracts, simply business. Okay, so this is what you can say, that this particular individual is going to gain through partnerships. Although, one example I would give here is, suppose a person is an Aries ascendant but has maybe debilitated sun or sun Rahu conjunction in the seventh house, or even exalted Saturn in the seventh house. You know that this person is actually going to experience a lot of struggle when it's about relationships, right? But if they have this Pushkara Navamsha, that means initially they are going to go through a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties related to self-esteem issues. It maybe cheating, receiving cheating on the other end from the partner. If it is a exalted Saturn, they have to work really hard. They have to be into very much discipline with the partner. So they will go through those particular challenges, but ultimately they are going to transform into a very different person because of those challenges, and that ultimate result is going to be good and fruitful because it is a Pushkara Navamsha. Okay, so that's how you are going to judge this. So it's seventh relationship. So every basis is going to move around the seventh house, right? But since it's a Pushkara Navamsha, it is going to lead towards the betterment or towards something positive. Okay, so this is how you judge a Pushkara Navamsha transition. So these results you can give. Second, other snapshot techniques that I'll tell you is, whenever you get an ascendant which goes seventh from itself. Now here it's a Pushkara Navamsha, but otherwise also, if it goes seventh from itself, it actually means that a person is going to travel overseas, or they're going to be born somewhere else but live and settle somewhere else. This could happen because of the partnership or the marriage also, or it could happen because of some business also. But you'll always see, get it into because of any ascendant. Suppose most of the example that I have seen is that people having Sagittarius ascendant, then having Navamsha Gemini, or Gemini ascendant having Navamsha Sagittarius. This is an example which I have seen most of the times. So in that case also, this is true, that people do travel to a far distance, and they don't live in their homeland ultimately. Okay, this is one thing. Now, another factor about the Aries, if your ascendant lies between 26 degrees 40 minutes Aries to 30 degrees Aries, you know that your planet or your ascendant is going to go into Sagittarius, and it is known to be a Pushkara Navamsha, and the relationship is ninth. So the element is same. From a fire, you're going to another fire. Now, we can't say that no prediction is going to be made here. See, every type of fire zodiac is different from each other. Every type of earth zodiac is going to be different from each other. So Aries fire is very different. It's very independent, right? It's very about myself. I am. It's about individualism. It's about energy. It's about mind. It's about brain. It's about dominance, right? It's about travel. And whereas Sagittarius is about fortune, higher knowledge, philosophy, it also has the fire in it, right? But the fire is in the direction of something which has higher purpose, right? But let me tell you, all the fire signs are very self-absorbed. You'll Whenever you'll meet a fire individual, be it be an ascendant or be it be an dominant, most of the planets are in fire sign, or you see a person with moon in fire sign, you'll see that those people are very, very self-absorbed. Those people are somehow, they are projected to be selfish, because sometimes because of that fire in them, they just tend to concentrate on whatever goal they have, and because of that they just disregard the surroundings sometimes. Okay, but the difference here about Aries to Sagittarius will be the Sagittarius is more about other people, advising other people, helping other people, thinking about everyone. If even though they are planning for their own gain somewhere, they'd always try to be in a comfortable zone and also make everyone else around them comfortable. Okay, so now you are going from a very independent and individualistic energy to a very segregated energy. Okay, where you are thinking about everyone on a whole. Right now, the Pushkara Navamsa part will be here. This is also actually the part, but with respect to relationship, it is going to be that you are going to get a lot of teachings in your life when you shift from an Aries to a Sagittarius. And these teachings will be well appreciated, and you will actually change because of those teachings. Because you see, not everyone understands what the universe is trying to tell them, right? Not everyone is comfortable with this thing that just a second. Actually, what happened in my previous video, I didn't have the audio. I have actually shot this video already, but that's why I'm, again and again going and checking the audio. That is it recording? The audio is there. Okay, so maybe there was something in the previous video which universe didn't want me to tell. So that's why they have given me, one more chance to shoot this video. Okay, so let's gracefully do it. So now, the ninth part is that you are fortunate. You get life lessons, you get learnings, you travel at a distance. That could be because of higher learning, it could be because of your destiny, or it could be because of your work or marriage, because it is going to the Navamsa, right? So it just in a way tells you that ninth house matters are something which you are fortunate about. And Pushkara Navamsa is basically helping you gracefully projecting those. Okay. Now the next one is Leo. So if your ascendant is between 20 degrees to 23 degrees, 20 minutes Leo, then it is going to fall into Libra. Now you're going from a fire to air again. I have explained that what does going from a fire to an air means. Now it's Leo. So, Leo is a very, again, self-absorbed zodiac sign. But Leo, out of these three zodiac signs, what I have seen in my research is that Leo is one of the most sensitive fire signs. You'll see Leo people telling you on your face, I don't care about you. But then making sure that everything around you is fine and you are at a safer place. So that's the kind of love that Leos give. And it's very hard. I won't say actually it's hard to understand Leos, because what happens, I've seen this thing with a lot many people by talking to them about their situations, that what conclusion I've concluded is that these people actually find it very hard to express something bluntly, although these are very blunt people. But when it's about emotions, although fifth house is about romance, it's about romantic encounters, but you won't see a Leo to be romantic upfront. What they'll do is they'll give you gifts. They'll give you that pamper. They'll just plan something out for you. But they'll do that in a very proudy way. They won't show you that they are planning something out, but they are doing something on the end. They'll just shower you with gifts. But when it's about emotions, they are not those people who will just sit and make you sit and talk. They'll expect you to understand them, although they can't speak to you. They can't express to you. So that's the kind of nature that Leos possess with this fire element. Now, from there, you're going into a sign which is all about balancing relationships, which is all about talking things out so that you can balance a relationship, you can negotiate in a relationship. Tell me, how much struggle is that for a Leo person? The person who is not willing to bow down in front of you because of their ego. They don't want to let you know that they are wrong at any point, if they are, So that's what happens. That's what struggle happens from going from a Leo to Libra. That's why the difference between Leo to Libra is the third, 3 places away. Libra is 3 places away because you need a lot of efforts, communication, courage, so as to transfer or transform into that librarian person. Okay, so that's the catch about the relationship between going from Leo to Libra. Right? So the third relationship is concentrated on the third house. Now you can predict for such an individual that they will be easily be able to travel. They will be lucky in terms of job. Now, just by viewing that a person has a Leo ascendant, you can't tell them that they are going to be in a business class profession and not in a job profession. Okay. For this, of course, you need to see the Navamsa, you need to see the 10th house and many things so as to confirm that, right? But here we know that this person will be blessed, in a way from the social circle, very intimate social circle. That includes their very close friends, their neighbors, their very close relatives with whom they talk, the social media. They get good influence from social media, they have good skills. So all of the third house matters are actually going to help them. That's the Pushkara Navamsa path for them. Okay, now if you have ascendant between 26 degrees 40 minutes to 30 degrees of Leo, then it is going to go into Sagittarius, again from a fire to fire. Now it's fifth. Now, one thing I would like to disclose here is, which is a little bit nasty, that I think like way back, I did post a post on my Instagram telling this, that whenever a person has Navamsa, which is fifth to its original ascendant or D1 ascendant, a person is most likely to have an affair out of marriage. And you will see one thing, that most likely they are going to have a love marriage, but also out of that love marriage, they are going to have an affair. Okay, and that generally happens on the verge of, somewhat between their 33 to 37th age, somewhat between that. Okay, it could be earlier, it could be afterwards also. That depends on the Mahadasha and Antadasha and other factors also, transits also. Okay, but this thing you'll always see. Now, I think I have disclosed a lot of secrets for everyone. So, yeah, this thing I have seen ultimately, and I guess whenever I receive a chart with such a placement, I do see that. But the only difference is that why that affair happens, that is the question. Because you go from a fire to fire, that just happens because of the fire. Because fire ascendant people, they just do it. They don't think before acting, but they think after the acting. So it could be impulsive for them, right? The affair could be out of just, they are being very, adventurous. They are being very, the star of the party, and it just happened there. But after that, they regretted it. Okay, but it could be other case around also. The whole chart needs to be checked for that. But the going fifth, that also happens. Now, what is the positive Pushkara Navamsa effect of this also is that going fifth from a certain ascendant means that you are carrying forward the past life good deeds, because the fifth house is the past life good deeds that you have accumulated in whatever past lives you have had. So that's why a person is fortunate, knowledgeable, right? They have creativity in within them. They have natural creativity, and it's all about creation. Since it's the fifth house, you'll see these people very good with speculation, very good with all the fifth house matters, dramatic arts, creativity. They know how to create things, not just in the artistic side, but also in other professions like IT profession, like education sector. Like they'll be known to mythology also. But yes, these people actually go way ahead in spirituality in the later part of their life. So fifth house matters actually help them elevate spiritually. Okay. And yes, these people are very, very fortunate. Now, the next one and the last one is Sagittarius. Now, if you have ascendant in Sagittarius, 20 degrees to 23 degrees, 20 minutes, then it goes into Libra. You're going from a fire to an air. But this fire is like, being very, very philosophical, very freedom lover kind of a person, all over the place, always trying to guide everyone, help everyone, and always that. But one thing I've seen with Sagittarius ascendants is that Sagittarius ascendants, or you can say a Sagittarius moon also, they find it very hard to make rigid and focused decisions in their life. There comes a time, it could be because of the Saraswati, it could be because of Saturn's transit, or because of the Mahadasha, maybe, that they actually learn how to balance their life. Although, if that times doesn't, like, till the time this particular activation or transits do not come, you'll see these people being very clueless about what they want to do in life. Because I've seen Sagittarius people, they are not initiative, they don't take the initiative. That is because of Jupiter's energy. Jupiter is not the initiator, it is just the person who can sit and talk, who can sit and guide, but not the one who can go and work, right? So that's why Sagittarius people find it very hard to take a firm stand early in their life, although they are fortunate enough. That's actually the impressive part with Sagittarius ascendant, is that they are just naturally fortunate because of the ninth house. That's why things just work out for them. But these are not the self-made kind of people until unless the transits come in. Okay, so till then you'll always see them trying on different things, or just thinking about trying on different things and not actually implementing it, right? So if you're going from a Sagittarius to Libra, it's the 11th relationship. Now, from being a very philosophical individual and thinking about so many people, acting as a guru to so many people, now you suddenly become a person who knows how to balance things, who's more about negotiations, business minded, and you get a lot of recognition and benefits from your social circle. So somehow these people, the Pushkara Navamsa part for these people are that they gain that sense of cleverness and intelligence so as to gain through their social circle. Okay, so that happens here with this. So 11, you'll always see that such a person is always going to have a work where most of the clientage is actually their social circle, or they just know how to make their clientage be, a part of their social circle. Okay, anywhere around. The last one is 26 degrees to 40 minutes to 30 degrees Sagittarius. If your ascendant lies here, then you're going to have your Sagittarius going into Sagittarius Navamsha only. Then it becomes Vargottama. Since I have discussed in this last video, Vargottama is very different from Pushkara. And let me tell you, I personally do not consider Vargottama ascendant to be the best. But yes, Vargottama planets are actually good. Why I don't consider Vargottama ascendant to be the best, I can make a separate video on that also, but let me just give a conclusion about it. See, Vargotama is about you. Suppose you are in a room and you have to stay in that room only for longer, like for all of your life, right? Suppose you have a home, right? You are going to live in that home for whole of your life. You don't have to shift, you don't have to change your residence. You know everyone around you. You're very old, you're very known to so many people for so many years. They are going to have a well knowledge of you. They're always going to prefer you over anyone else, any new tenant, or suppose any new neighbor, right? So that's how the situation is with Vargotama. You have to be in a in one zodiac sign throughout your life. There's no change. There's no challenges that you're going to see. The challenges could be there if planets are conjunct or even receiving aspects and all of that. But still, you find your balance within that zodiac sign. You find your stability within that zodiac sign. So that's why this planet becomes stronger and it strengthens its roots over time. Whereas Pushkara just means that you have carried forward good karma and the results you are going to get in this life. Both of these planets or both of these ascendants are going to be stronger. They reflect strengthening, but it's not the similar kind of strength. They are strengthened, but one is strengthening by doing things repeatedly, and they have perfected in that. The other one is that they just are lucky enough to not get worse circumstances in their life. Okay. So Vargotama ascendant, why I don't consider them good is that because if you have a Vargotama ascendant in Navamsa, you are not much likely to have changes in your life. You don't want to change for anyone. You don't want to adjust with anyone. You want a partner who accepts you for the way you are. That's why you'll always see Vargotama ascendant individuals who have their Vargotama ascendant in D1 and D9. They either get married late or they have issues within the marriage because they don't want to change. They don't want to adjust with the other person. Okay, so that's why they go on refusing a lot of connections because of that. Or if they are married, they just won't feel very comfortable within the connection. Okay, so that happens with Vargotama planets. So here it goes from Sagittarius to Sagittarius. You just need to know whatever ninth house represents. These people are fortunate. These people are, I told a lot of things about Sagittarius, that Sagittarius are they are just fortunate, but they lack direction early in life. So you can feel that a person having Sagittarius as Vargotama, they might lack direction in throughout their life. But their partner, because it is Mercury, their partner helps them finding that direction and finding that sense of work, business, job, things like that. So Mercury also represents growth, if you guys don't know. So if you want to know about if a person will grow in time, that's Mercury. Okay, if a person has good Mercury, suppose they earn 10 rupees in in today's world, right? They are earning 10 rupees. After 2 to 3 years, they'll be earning 100 rupees if they have a good Mercury. So that's the type of growth Mercury represents. Okay, so guys, this was my output about Pushkara Navamsa, about the fire signs, right? Next, I think we are going to cover the earth one. Okay, so see you in the next video. If you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And if you guys would like to have your personal readings from me, you can check out the link below, www.anmollastrology.com. And under the consultation section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. And if you are a learner of astrology and want to dive deeper into the research of your charts, you can also see for the unique readings. Okay, guys, see you in the next video. Bye bye. Take care.